Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestational coach on the internet and in the world. Why? Because there's nobody else that has so much support with their clients. I spend so much time with my clients, getting to know them, understanding where they're coming from. I start with the groundwork, your childhood, your adolescence, everything you went through thus far. Everything interests me in you. Why? Because I want to understand what you have gone through up until today so that I can understand what is your belief blueprint right now. My coaching is mostly based on audio exchange, which means you record an audio of 20-minute max, and I will reply once I go through your audio. I listen to it more than once. I take extensive notes. Everybody has an individual pad in my coaching, and I review my notes and I assess what my analysis is of what you're telling me. It's very, very important to go through this process of what you went through your childhood, how everybody has affected you, your mother, father, guardian, what have you, so that we can work on this. Because most of the time, up until age 7, you've downloaded a blueprint that's not even your own. However, you're still regurgitating this blueprint in your manifestations, in your creations on a daily basis. And it feels like you don't even understand what's happening. However, I will help you guide, your way through your understanding how this came about. What are you creating? Why are you creating it? And what does this all mean? Okay, so it's a very thorough, very methodical, very kind of detail-oriented coaching. Now, I don't see any other coach on the internet, which is why I say I'm your most favorite manifestational coach. I don't see any other coach on the internet that does that. Not even a little bit. No. I respond to your audio within a day or two, sometimes 3, depending on my workload. As long as your audio is 20 minutes max, I'm right there with you. I will text you once the reply is ready to go and I have replied. And basically, I hold your hand throughout the entire process. Please name me a manifestational coach that does that, and let's examine, okay? I charge appropriately for my work, and actually I don't even charge enough for the amount of time that I spend on each and every single audio. I spend about 2 to 3 hours sometimes. Okay, depends again the kind of audio it is. It may be a very dense audio, meaning a lot of information, a lot of notes to write down. I write them all down by hand. All of my coaching packages do include phone sessions. So I usually start with a phone session. So for example, if you'd like to start with a phone session, I will record it simply because I have to take notes. I need to understand, where you're coming from. Every single word matters to me. If you also would like to simply hire me for a phone session, which is $200 an hour, you can do that too, and then decide if I'm the right coach for you. Absolutely no problem. I require the full amount paid upfront, meaning you have to pre-book the entire month, okay? If you're planning to stay with me for 2 to 3 months, which is what I recommend, I require you pay the amount upfront. Okay, here we go. For the month of May, I will make an exclusion. For the month of May, those who want to be coached by me, you guys can pay 1 month at a time. Okay, I don't usually allow this. Okay, but you can do this for the month of May, meaning You sign up for coaching with me, you pay the monthly fee, and when you reach, towards the end of the month, you will have to renew if you'd like to stay with me. Now, it's up to you. If you don't want to do the work correctly, it's up to you. I take my time, like I said. I go through it thoroughly, as I should, in order to help you. There are many coaches on the internet that just don't want to bother, and they don't do it correctly. I really want to do it correctly. So if you want to do it correctly, you need to stay with me 2 to 3 months. Depending on your history, everybody's different. Sometimes people stay with me 4 months. All right. So that's the prerequisite. But for the month of May, I will allow, if you book with me a month at a time, that will be fine with me. You do have to sign the agreement. It's attached to every single package on my website. It just means that I'm not a psychiatrist. You don't get to bombard me. You don't get to disrespect me. The coaching fee is non-refundable. You have to print your name, sign, and date it, and send it back to me, via email. Please understand my position. I'm a very busy person. When somebody asks me for a payment plan, it's not that I want to be rude or disrespectful or this and that. I am literally busy out of my ears. Okay, so if you don't come prepared to take the coaching seriously, and you're asking me to literally gamble on my time, that's not exactly the kind of business I'm in. All right. If you want to be prepared to take yourself to the next level, as some people tell me that they want, you need to really invest in yourself. And like I said, my fee is extraordinarily discounted. Other people outside of YouTube, I charge triple as much, okay, a month, because the amount of time that I deliver in the work on you is extraordinary, because I care about everybody. All right. So just understand where I'm coming from. It's not because, I'm trying to give you a hard time or anything like that. It's about time. It's about the service that I deliver. And I really hope that I come across, that you understand where I'm coming from. All right. It's a matter of investment in yourself. And there's nothing else to say here. If you have any questions, my email is directly below. My website is directly below. Please email me if you have any questions. All right. The other question. Okay, so I'm going to answer the question that I completely forgot to answer in the last audio/video. Sorry, got carried away. But if you show up in coaching, the coaching shows up for you. I'm just a facilitator. I'm just a mirror, a really good mirror, nevertheless. But you have to show up. You have to deliver the effort, in other words. All right. So for those people who are wondering, well, how is it going to work? It's going to work if you show up and do the work. There is a guide that needs to help you do it correctly, but you are the one doing the work. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question really quickly and another one very briefly, because I feel like I owe this person something. Okay, this person's name, rather the screen name, whatever it is, Space V Spitch. 4028. Okay. Okay. And this person goes, here's an idea. Excuse me. Maybe for a video subject. I love how they always suggest video subjects to me. When these fears and doubts have been running your life for so many decades, it kills your intuition. Not true. First of all, when you finally start trying to work on this stuff, how do you tell when the impulses are coming from your natural intuition or the same old fears trying to convince you to start working on this stuff? And then I often get this sense that what I'm experiencing is my subconscious trying to find sneaky ways to get around all of my efforts to change my way of thinking. Well, the last part is true, but here's what I'd like to say to you. This is the main point. How do you tell when the impulses are coming from your natural intuition or the same old fears? Okay, intuition versus fears feels extraordinarily different. If I'm intuitive and I'm inspired, it's basically interchangeable terms. Intuition and inspiration goes hand in hand, in my opinion. You're inspired to tune in, intuition, tuning into something that is there to assist you. Fear is just the regurgitation of your past beliefs. It's a completely different entity. I treat it like some kind of like a monster in the closet in my coaching. It's got a personality, it's got some shit that they're telling you. It usually has a personality of your mother, father, guardian, some fucking stupid boyfriend that, discombobulated your girlfriend, some psycho. But, it has to be that you know the difference. There is a premise where you feel completely at peace and you feel inspired, you feel jovial, you feel upbeat, you feel extraordinarily energized, and let's do this, let's do that, this is wonderful, and blah, 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 versus this is dreadful, I'm afraid, I don't know what else to do, la, la, la. To me, these are completely totally opposites. So, in essence, I would have to examine your case to understand where you're coming from, but this is completely polar opposites, is what I want to say. And the other question I'd like to answer before I go into my subject, and yes, you guys are being spoiled by videos, as Shandana said. And by the way, Shandana, I'd like to know why you're deleting your comments on my channel. Very like to know the answer to that. So shy. But a million questions when I go live. Okay. Verdana here. Video idea how to erase memory. So I'm about to go into something very profound here. And I'm hoping that I verbalize this correctly, because the way I do things for my audios, and I've told you this many, many different times, is that I channel, all right? I write down like several notes, whatever I'm inspired to do. I get these inspirations like when I'm brushing my teeth, when I take a shower, when I'm walking my dog. And then I say, oh, this will be a magnificent subject to discuss with the lovely people of YouTube. And so erasing memory, my darling Vedrana, has to do with confidence. But let me just go into this now. So the subject of today is USP, and money is the result of self-confidence. So a lot of people come to my channel or email me and this, oh my God, I get so many emails. I love your confidence. I love your confidence. I love your confidence. Okay, listen, it's like this. First of all, don't be so enamored of another person. Learn from them. There is that, no problem. But don't idolize anybody, not even me, all right? Confidence is learned, just like any skill. Just like I do the belief work in my coaching, where we rescript the beliefs and we work on your self-concept, if you want to call it. I hate this fucking term, by the way. It's not self-concept. It's just self-confidence. It's knowing of the self. It's knowing of the self. That's it. Okay, I just gave it to you. It's not self-confidence. Confidence in what? You have to boast. It just has this implication of, I have to be more than I really am. No, you already are that person. You just don't know it yet. You were conditioned to think that you're just little tiny person who doesn't have your SP or the money or this and any other, based on your trauma-based experiences or some kind of other experiences that brought you down to your knees or brought down your self-concept or, self-confidence. In reality, you already have self-confidence. You've already had it all along. It's like Dorothy. You've had it all along, right? Wizard of Oz. Listen, fairy tales are not there for nothing. In fairy tales, fears do not apply. Have you ever, there is some kind of a witch or some kind of a bullshit situation where you need to overcome. That's the representation of your fears. Oh, this just came to me. This was not even in my notes. I love it. And so you have drawn to yourself a challenge to overcome your fears and say, I will never put up with this bullshit again. I don't want it. And you know what kind of strong personality that takes? Most of the people in my coaching are empaths. They're marvelous, adorable people. Once in a while, there's some kind of a psycho. But 99.99999% my clients are fucking adorable. Oh my God, I can't get enough of them. Beautiful people who just haven't discovered that they are the genius of their life. Because they are. But if somebody convinced them along the way, like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're less than. Da-da-da. Da-ba-choo. No, you're not. You're not less than. You've had it all along. You are the golden Buddha. You are the genius. You are the creator of your motherfucking life. Right? You've always been, but now you're getting to know yourself all over again. Get to know yourself. And so fears are these little tiny motherfuckers who are just there to challenge you in order for you to become the greater you. And in effect, they're helping you. Because you say to yourself, well, how on earth did this manifest? I've lost my SP. I don't have any money for honest coaching, parentheses here. I'm going to have a meditation on money, by the way, after this. Sometime later, maybe tomorrow. Now listen to me now. You already know who you are. You already know that your desire wants you just as much. I have the other night, this lovely, lovely client, I never name names because I just really care about my clients, said to me, this video really inspired me, where it's like, your SP wants you just as much. Because they do. Now, why is that? Because you want them. There's nothing else going on. So this money and this SP is dependent on your confidence. Now, if you lose the confidence, the SP and the money goes. Obviously. Because you are no longer confident in yourself. Don't wait for anybody to give you confidence. It will be a lose-lose motherfucking proposition. Oh, give me confidence. This is why, the clingy girlfriends and the clingy boyfriends, please love me, please. What on earth are you talking about? Go and love yourself. Go and invest in yourself, which is why coaching is so potent, because you get to examine yourself and you get to figure out why the fuck are you not believing in yourself. Simple. Because when you're convinced in your power, it doesn't really matter what's playing on the outside. You can turn it around like this. In a snapshot, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. It's going to be a long audio, and I'm sure you're going to love it. It's a matter of commanding. It's not a matter of asking. It's not a matter of love me, please. No, go fuck yourself. If you don't love me, fall off the earth. Please do. Go to the fucking Mars or even Pluto or in some other fucking galaxy. I don't give a shit. Because I love myself. I know what I represent. I know my premise. I know I hold gold. I'm the Federal motherfucking Reserve, all right? I hold all the gold in the country and in the world for that matter. In my universe, I hold all the gold. How you like that? Right? So if you don't like me, you must be delusional. But if you really, but parenthesis here, if you're really convinced of your certitude that you are the gold. So when people tell me insecurities, da-da-da, da-da-da, whatever, what insecurities? I'm not saying I'm not human. I'm not saying I'm like some kind of an alien. But let me tell you something. If somebody confronts me with some kind of a bullshit today and says to me, Anna, you're no good, da-da-da, 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 I will be like, wow, you must be really confused. Because you haven't seen me. You obviously have some kind of I don't know, maybe your eyesight isn't working or your hearing is not okay, but you're confused. But in the past, when I was a teenager in New York running around getting modeling jobs, I would have bought that premise. Because a lot of people will just project their insecurities on you. And that's the thing. And sometimes you download those shitty beliefs and you really shouldn't. And if you did, it's just work to be done. And again, when you trust the very people that bring you up, such as mother and father, you obviously trust them with, bringing you up right and having your best interest in mind. But sometimes they do not. Sometimes they are the very broken people that have not been there for you, didn't know any better, whatever the case might be. And the thing is this, right? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's like a diamond, right? When they research diamonds, it's never a perfect match. You just gotta find the one that you really like and work with it, or really like it. But the idea is that you work on yourself because you are the perfect diamond anyway, with your intricacies and different situations. Confidence comes from experience, from results. So confidence comes when you challenge the beliefs and you fucking challenge them. It's like you're sitting in the boardroom of monsters. There's a fear of this, there's a fear of that, insecurity of that, and fucking all the other fucking bullshit. And you say, you know what? I've fucking had it. I've had it. It hasn't worked that far so well. Why should I employ you anymore? Every time I had a bad employee, I've had like a week with them and be like, you know what? It's not working out. This is your pay. Goodbye. That's it. Right? I have a very short fuse with people who abuse me or people who are lazy, quite frankly, who show up lazy in my coaching or this and that. Don't be fucking lazy. Show up. Do the work. Okay? I only demand of others what I demand of myself. If you're fucking lazy, well, good luck to you. That's politely put. So if you've got fears, get to know them. Ask them, hey, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a while. Have you got anything to offer me? And most certainly, the answer is no. The answer is no. Is the boogeyman that's some kind of again, inherited from some other belief system, from some other person, not even yours. You're keeping fucking tenants in your house that don't pay the fucking rent. All right? Let me explain it to you like that. You need to fire your fears and tell them to go fuck themselves up the ass. Seriously though, this is of no service to you, of no purpose to you. But the way you work around it, or through it rather, not around it, but through it, is to say, excuse me, you don't serve me anymore. There's no benefit here. Goodbye. And then when you work through it and understand what they've been delivering to you and it has been no good, it's like if somebody delivers you rotten vegetables to your door, you start questioning things, right? So why not your fears? Your fears have not delivered anything good to you thus far. Am I right? Yes, I'm usually right. Always. Right. The results come from self-work. Listen to me. When you manifest something out of the ordinary, quote unquote, out of the ordinary of your beliefs, once you fire your fears, you're bored of fears. And I ought to write a book. I'm writing a book by hand, mind you. Yeah, I'm that kind of fucking dork. It's just how I am. I don't want to fix it in any shape or form. It brings out the best of me, writing notes by hand. At some time this year, it's going to be there. All right. So when you do the self-work and you realize you should fire the fears, there's going to be a discombobulation process where it's like, I've been so addicted to this fear-based mentality. I don't know what to do with myself right now. Sure you do. Sure you do. There was a moment in time in your childhood, perhaps, or somewhere down the line, when you remember feeling safe, when you remember the universe being on your side. And if you haven't, I sympathize with you, and there's deeper work to do, and it's not like I haven't done it in my coaching. But there's a moment in your life when you totally felt safe, like the universe is on your side. And so the fears were never there because, again, it was inherited through certain circumstances, events, and thus formed beliefs. But when you introduce a new idea, they will rebuttal you. They will. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a couple of examples, and this is not necessarily to do with beliefs, but it has to do with confidence. And the confidence is built through experience, through results. But results are brought about through the work of beliefs. All right. So a few years ago, I already spoke about this on my channel. I had a very kind of like unpleasant lawsuit, which it went on for some time, for like a year and a half. And it just was nowhere out. It was like a real estate lawsuit going back and forth, this and that. And in the time that I had to have a final say from a judge, I didn't have the decision that I wanted. And I was very perplexed, to say the least. I was very upset, actually, because I thought this was certainly going to go in my favor. And I was really, really upset. I said to myself, all right, here are my choices. It was very poignant. I just want to stress this. It was very poignant. But I went back out of the courtroom and I said, all right, here's what we're going to do. It's obviously not to my benefit, and it seems like I lost, but I really didn't. And what I'm going to do from here point on, and it was about like 1:00 in the afternoon, I'm going to get in the cab, I'm going to go back into my place, and I'm going to pick up some champagne on the way, which in my book, champagne means celebration. And I'm going to pretend that I have the perfect solution to this fucking problem. I did exactly that. I called my hairdresser. She did my hair, and I was just listening to my jazz music, drinking some champagne. And within an hour, I got an email from somebody, another lawyer, who I reached out to previously, offering me a beautiful solution, but a beautiful solution. When I tell you, it went from 0 to 1,000. It was that like that. And all I did was I put myself in a state of being with a solution. It wasn't even something concrete. It was just like, I'm going to go have fun, celebrate a solution. I'm going to go get my hair done. I'm going to go be the person that is with the solution. And so this is what I want to stress. Introducing a different idea other than before, a different strain of energy is everything. And within 2 hours, listen to me when I tell you, within 2 hours after I was defeated, quotation marks, I had a perfect solution that was beyond what I could have conjured. Beyond what I could have conjured. It's a gift that still keeps on giving. I cannot disclose to you the details because it's a little bit too personal, but I will say this. It was beyond what I ever could have conjured. It all had to do with the premise of changing your structure of energy and rising up in confidence that this could happen. The miracles could happen. And so this is how you acquire experience. And once you have manifested this kind of thing, then you know anything is possible. Another one, and this is going to be long, but I'm going to include it anyway. Because Agnes, are you there? You asked for this example. I know you're still on my channel, so I'm going to give you this example. When I was 17 years old, a friend of mine went to the US. I was in Russia at the time. And he went there as an exchange student. And he stayed there for 3 months or something. And he came back with these tales of Wonderland and this and that. And it's not like I have never heard of New York and America before. But he just inspired me so much. And I made up my mind right there and then. And said to myself, you know what? I want to go to America, and that's where I want to be. I want to be in New York. I'm going to make it my home base. Now, wouldn't you know, within about, I would say, 2 to 3 months, something like that, 2 to 3 months, I hear a program on the radio similar to what he has gone to. And it was as if somebody nudged me, like, hey, take a piece of fucking paper and a pen and write this fucking phone number down. I went through the program. I was an exchange student. I went to, Hunter for journalism and this and that. And at the end, I decided to stay here as an American. I decided to be an American, which was my dream, and I realized my dream. But in between, I purposely I didn't know what meditation was back then, but I was like, I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm an American. For me, as far as I was concerned, I was born an American because, I think I must have heard of America when I was 6 years old, because that's when I saw the first Marilyn Monroe movie, and I was like, I want to be where she is. And that's what propelled it, quite frankly, amongst other things. But these are the things that convince you of your confidence to create. When you're enamored with an idea, when you're so on purpose, intentional, confident, clearly determined, that's what confidence is. And when you get that result, you go further, you up the level, you ask for more, you do this, you do that, you never regress. This is possible, I can ask for more. This is possible, I can ask for more. Doesn't make you greedy, doesn't make you not deserving. It just makes you a manifester. Because the sky is not the limit. Sky is not the limit. Trust me when I tell you. Your SP is the result of your confidence. They don't reside on their own. They're a part of your being. You manifested them on their own. They're a construction of your entire consciousness. You constructed them from mom, dad, these kinds of different configurations, and now you're looking at them. Just as that, you can reconfigure them. You can restructure them and say, no, now you behave this way. Now you are all over me. Now you are wonderful to me. Whatever. Now I have a ton of money. Now I have millions of dollars. Whatever the fuck you want to ask. Now, between $1,000 and $1 million or $100 million, it doesn't really matter. It's just the same thing, really. It's the confidence that you acquire over and over and over again. I hope I make sense when I explain that. It's a different strain of energy. It's going against your beliefs once again. Breaking through that wall of beliefs and saying, no, excuse me, I deserve more. I know what it's like to manifest. I've manifested before. And if you haven't manifested something great, you know what? That's all right. Get into my coaching. Let me help you, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, though, you have the capacity to break through any wall of your stupid beliefs. And once and for all, prove to yourself, first of all, nobody's a decider other than you. Anything is possible, but I mean anything, right? Everybody's under your control. And it's only when you let go of the past programming that you become a new person. An entirely different person. The way you talk, walk, dress, do your hair, do your makeup. In an example of a woman, you are an entirely different person, and you owe no explanation to anybody to become a different person in the next minute. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody an apology for becoming a brand new person, of having new quote-unquote demands or boundaries and this and that. You right now can become this person overnight, over a minute, provided you've done the work. So it sticks with you. So it stays with you forever. But you don't owe anybody an explanation. The only person you need to convince of the validity of that reality is yourself. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.